Welcome to day 30 of PMP Exam Mindset. Today we're taking a look at project continuity and knowledge transfer. Richard Stallman said, sharing knowledge is the most fundamental act of friendship because it is a way you can give something without losing something. We often say knowledge is power, and that's true. You see, in this world of project management through PMI's lens, you are powerless if you cannot continue the project when people leave. It's extremely important that project continuity be planned in by the project manager. And in our book, PMP Exam Immersion, we emphasize this importance of knowledge transfer for maintaining continuity. We explore strategies for documenting and sharing knowledge within the project team and other stakeholders to ensure seamless transitions and the preservation of critical information. In the world of Agile, we're so particular about knowledge transfer. Collaborative practices like pair programming and regular knowledge sharing sessions are included in a lot of Agile practices. These practices ensure that team knowledge is not siloed and there is continuity in project understanding and execution. If you take a look at the Agile practice called T-shaped skills, you have a better understanding that not one singular person is expected to have the knowledge to complete the project. It is to be shared. So we espouse the philosophy of broken comb, paint drip, and T-shaped skills. When we talk about T-shaped, we mean broad category of skills, but a deep specialism. So the bar in the letter T is the broad categories, and the bar in the letter T, that signifies the specialisms. Let's talk about our true or false questions for today. True or false, knowledge transfer in Agile projects is limited to formal documentation. You already know that this one is false. While documentation plays a role, knowledge transfer in Agile projects extends beyond formal documents. It emphasizes active, continuous sharing through collaborative work, pair programming, informal discussions in common areas, and knowledge sharing sessions to ensure collective understanding. 2. Agile methodologies like pair programming facilitate knowledge transfer. Well, that is obviously true. Pair programming, where two developers work together on one workstation, is an excellent Agile practice for real-time knowledge transfer. It ensures that knowledge is shared organically. It reduces knowledge silos and improves code quality. 3. True or false? Keeping knowledge within a small group is recommended in Agile projects to maintain focus. Now, this is not true. We do not hoard knowledge in the world of Agile. Keeping knowledge siloed within a small group is actually detrimental to Agile projects. Agile promotes broad knowledge sharing across the team to foster cross-functionality, reduce dependencies on individuals, and ensure project continuity even if team members change. Number 4, regular knowledge sharing sessions are unnecessary in Agile. Again, you can smell that that's false. Regular knowledge sharing sessions such as lunch and learns, workshops, internal presentations are highly beneficial in Agile. They provide structured opportunities for team members to share expertise, discuss new techniques, and ensure collective learning and growth. 5. True or false? Agile practices ensure that project knowledge is shared broadly among team members. Now we're talking. The answer to this is, of course, true. Agile practices like daily stand-ups, retrospectives, pair programming, collective code ownership are designed to facilitate broad knowledge sharing among team members. This ensures that critical information is not held by a few individuals, improving team resilience and project continuity. Let's take a look at our question for today. A pharmaceutical analytics program is entering regulatory submission when the lead biostatistician resigns. Several new statisticians are onboarding, and leadership is concerned about continuity of methods and validation traceability. What is the best action? A. Instruct the lead pharmaceutical statistician to document project lessons learned and best practices used and archive them in the repository for future access by incoming team members. B. Escalate to the project sponsor to outsource the analysis to a third-party professional organization with proven handover playbooks to avoid internal disruption to the project. C. Schedule structured knowledge capture and handover sessions, methods, code, datasets, validation decisions, verify transfer with the new team, and confirm ownership and access path. Or is it D? Request a comprehensive final summary report from the statistician and circulate it widely, then proceed with current milestones to maintain schedule. I'll give you some time to think about the answer. All right, let's take a look at the answer and hit the pause button if you need more time. Taking a look at these options, the question is, what is the best action for continuity of methods? Because that's what leadership is concerned about, as you can see from the question. Leadership is concerned about continuity of methods and validation traceability. So the best action is to ensure that something is in place, but also to ensure it is as dynamic and pragmatic as possible. So A, instruct the lead pharmaceutical statistician to document lessons learned and then archive them. Well, there's no promise that the individuals who need this information are going to read it. See, because if the lead statistician leaves and no one knows what is in that document, then the team is toast. So throwing lessons learned together and best practices and archiving them is one of the worst things to do when you are looking for continuity and an understanding by incoming members. So A will not be the best thing. You probably have seen this in your own organization. How many times do people actually read the lessons learned? Well, it's no different in these questions. B, escalate to the project sponsor. This isn't the project sponsor's job, so escalating to them is not a good option. And then bringing in a third-party professional is also not a good idea. This is an internal person who is on your team, and it's up to you to take care of business as a project manager. When you get these questions on the PMP exam, whether you are told you are the project manager or not, always assume you are. Now, if you're told specifically that you're not the project manager, which is very rare, that will be different. But B is not the best answer here. Take a look at C. Schedule structured knowledge capture and handover sessions. Methods, code, datasets, validation decisions, and verify transfer. You're not just throwing information out, you are ensuring that the new team members are understanding and absorbing, and you're confirming ownership. You're making sure they know what they own. And access path. This is quite a good option. Let's take a look at D. Request a comprehensive final summary report from the statistician and circulate it widely, then proceed with current milestones to maintain schedule. Now, even though this is not a bad thing to do, this will not get you to where the leadership is looking. Continuity of methods and validation traceability. So the best option, my friends, is a structured knowledge capture and handover session. Bear in mind that on the PMP exam, you're not always going to get lingo that you are completely familiar with, but you need to make sense of what it is saying. Structured knowledge capture and handover sessions are just meetings, but here we're expanding on what those meetings are. Continuity requires interactive verified transfer of tacit knowledge and explicit knowledge, sessions with artifacts and access and ownership. Lessons learned or a single summary report are insufficient to ensure method reproducibility and traceability. With that said, my friends, let's take a look at the content outline for today. Ensure knowledge transfer for project continuity. Number one, you got to discuss project responsibilities with the team. You could use a RACI chart. Responsible, accountable, consult, inform, so everyone is clear on responsibilities and accountabilities. B, outline expectations for working environment. As a project manager, you could set the vision. What is the working environment like? How will we share knowledge? How will we transfer knowledge? How will we store relevant knowledge? And lastly, confirming the approach for these knowledge transfers. Meetings, documents, sessions, all that stuff needs to be decided upon. You will get questions on the exam about knowledge transfer, lessons learned, retrospectives, tacit knowledge, and explicit knowledge. And just get ready to answer questions that have shades of gray differential between the options. A and B in a question could be very similar, but for one word. You need to look out for things like that. All right, my friends, we've come to the end. Thank you for watching. Smash that like button for me and subscribe. And if you have friends that are struggling with the PMP exam, let them know about this channel. I wish you all the very best, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care and bye for now.